Well, hello everybody. Welcome to LA Dodger Report. One day to go until opening day. Spring training's over, and maybe you heard about how it ended with the great flood of Chavez Ravine. If you didn't hear about it, the game was called last night after 5 innings. Really 4 2/3 innings. They didn't quite finish it, but it was called an official game. Why? Because a sewer pipe broke within the stadium. It was a horrible, ugly, smelly, watery mess. If you haven't seen it, look it up on your phone. Look it up on Google. Dodgers Angels spring training great flood of 2018, and get a look at those pictures. It was a horrible thing. Apparently that sewage water got into the coaches' offices and the clubhouse, and it ran all the way up inside the stands. The first row right behind Dodgers dugout, the row to the side of the Dodgers dugout was flooded. It was an ugly mess, an ugly way to end spring training, which was, by the way, how spring training ended anyway, ugly, if your name is Trace Thompson or Andrew Toles. Poor Thompson and Toles were left on the side this year. They're not going to make it, and Trace Thompson's career with the Dodgers may well be over. He was out of options, so Thompson was DFA'd, which means another team can come along and claim him. If nobody wants him, which I'm betting somebody will pick him up, but if nobody wants him, the Dodgers can come back and snag him if he clears those waivers. Things are not so dark for Andrew Toles, although I feel bad that the guy didn't make it on the team. Toles came back from a bad injury last year, and he had a very good spring. He hit .283, 3 home runs, 10 RBIs. It would have been good enough to start in left field. But what happened? The $20 million man happened. Matt Kemp came out of nowhere, and he blocked Andrew Toles, and there's just no place for the kid to be. So Toles goes down to AAA. Who stayed? Although, hey, before we go too far down the road on Toles, he will probably end up being called up before the season is over, and maybe even before the All-Star break, depending on how things go for the Dodgers during the season. So look for Toles to be back. The whole rationalization is send him down there so he can play every day and he can hit every day. I see that, but it's like I said earlier on Twitter, I get it. I see the rationalization, but it's kind of like telling me that kale is good for my health. I still don't like it. All right, who's in? Jock, I barely scratched through spring training. Pederson is back. Why? The Dodgers like his experience, and they like what he did in the World Series. I gotta admit, the kid was a World Series hero, and so that experience and that spark at the end of the year got him the start of being the extra outfielder over Andrew Toles. So Pederson stays. Jock Pederson, who barely hit, I don't even think he cracked a 190 in spring training. So he barely hits 183 or something like that, and he gets lobster at the buffet table, while Andrew Toles gets ham and cheese sandwiches in Oklahoma City. Who else stuck around? Kyle Farmer. Now, Kyle Farmer had a grand spring, so that's good news for him, and also for the Dodgers, because Farmer can play backup catcher, and he can also play some infield. And if there's anything the Dodger brass likes, it's those guys that can play multiple positions. All right, so before we get into the second half of our video, of course, it'll be the last beer review of the spring, and I got us something here with kind of like the pink sakura flowers from Japan, the chrysanthemums, the cherry blossoms, not chrysanthemum, but cherry blossoms that are blossoming in Japan. Although this beer is from Belgium, it's really got nothing to do with Japan at all, except for I saw the colors and I thought of the cherry blossoms. This beer is called, today, this is an Imperial IPA, so it's pretty strong. And this is called Dangerously Close to Stupid Amount of Apricot. So dangerously close to stupid amount of apricot. All right, Imperial IPA, they're usually pretty high, double-digit alcohol. I couldn't find anything on the can to give us a hint as to what the percentage is, but we'll try to guess it when we drink it. All right, and this is from that Belgian brewery, once again, in honor of Andrew Toles, who got sent down this time from To Ol Brewery out of Belgium. Let's check out this Imperial IPA. Here we go. It's a tall boy can, so it's going to go in the tall boy glass. And here we go. So, while we pour, Kike Hernandez is going to get a shot at playing second base now that unfortunately Justin Turner is out. That shifted Logan Forsythe over to third. They're thinking, I heard the Dodgers talk about platooning Kike and Chase Utley at second. I don't like the idea, but they like to do that whole platoon business because they think Kike can't hit left-handers. Or rather, they think Kike cannot hit right-handed pitching. Kike worked all off season specifically with the intention of becoming an everyday player. And he really pushed up his numbers hitting against right-handers. So he did very well. As a matter of fact, he hit right-handers better than he did lefties over the spring. And I'm hoping that the Dodgers are going to pay back with some faith in Kike and let the guy play every day at second base. Let him get in a groove, let him stay hot, and let him show that he can't do the job. Then, platoon him. You got nothing to lose and you've got everything to gain. You might just get a great second baseman. All right, so that's my thought on Kike, but I have one more note on Kike. But first, let's see what's happening with insanely dangerous amount of apricot here. The smell isn't insanely overpowering of apricot, I'll tell you that. It's got a very thick head of foam. It's not dissipating very much at all. I tried to pour carefully, and it still left me with a big, almost like shaving cream, foamy thickness. So let's have a taste of that foam. I don't really smell the alcohol, the apricots, not really. A faint hint. Here we go. I'm getting a strong flavor though of something. Let's take a real drink. You can see how the veil clings, and it's a thick head there. They may have placed an insane amount of dangerous amount of alcohol, apricot. They might have put an insane amount of apricot in the can, in the brew, but I'm not tasting it in flavor, to be honest. It's kind of clear that they did this to mask that high alcohol content, but I don't think they were entirely successful because I'm picking up that alcohol heat, that alcohol feeling on the roof of the mouth. Apricot is there, but it's fleeting. You don't smell it. You don't taste it right away. But you pick it up if you're looking for it. You know what I mean? Like if you're telling yourself, there's apricot. Oh, it's gone. That's how quick that apricot flavor is. It's not a bad beer. but I'm not sure that I'm going to agree with labeling it, insanely dangerous amount of apricot. Nope, not so much. Although there's probably an insanely dangerous amount of alcohol in the beer because it's an Imperial IPA. It's probably up around 12, 13. Because I definitely taste that. All right, so this is a nothing special beer. Nothing grand happening there. I'll drink one, but I don't think I would choose it again. All right, finishing out thoughts. Let's finish up. Kike and the Dodgers. Very good news. They gave over $2 million in charity funds to help rebuild Puerto Rico after Hurricane Maria. It's been 7 months since the hurricane, and something like 70% of the people who lost their homes are still living in shelters. So, Kike and the Dodgers are giving $2 million plus, and Kike chose the charity of Habitats for Humanity because, number one, the folks need homes, and number two, that charity works beyond just giving the people a house. It also works with getting them employment and back on their feet so that they can get back to normal lives. So hoorah, bravo to Kike and the Dodgers. Thanks a lot for helping out our Puerto Rican brothers and sisters. And opening day tomorrow. We'll be ready for that. Oh, final word. I'll be watching opening day tomorrow on my MLB TV free subscription that I won from my new Twitter friend, The Truth. If you want to know the details on that, just check out my Twitter feed. I'm OM Sports 42 at OM Sports 42. All right, so check it out there and you'll see the details. Thanks a lot, The Truth, for getting me that MLB TV subscription, because now I can watch every baseball game that's happening every day during the season. That's fantastic. And what else is fantastic is you, the viewers. Thanks a lot for stopping by. Play ball. Peace.